Oh, wow. It really
God
does
dang,
take
that
a
took
while for
forever.
that to, yeah, I know.
Oh, an error occurred on LinkedIn. This is
Oh,
temporary.
here we
No,
go.
fuck you, LinkedIn. We're just gonna say goodbye to
All right. Yeah,
LinkedIn.
we're not gonna, yeah.
We
See,
don't have
I knew
time for this
LinkedIn was
shit.
gonna be trouble.
Always
Hooligans,
something. Nope.
hooligans.
Nobody even knows what LinkedIn is anyway.
Well, technically, it's only the second largest social media platform after
Yes,
Facebook.
actually it is. And I'm making fun of LinkedIn, but I've been studying up on LinkedIn with that
Uh-huh.
fucking whatever. I'll give it credit later. There's this
Right.
social media book for 2024 that I'm
Right.
looking at, and it's actually encouraging me to be more engaged on LinkedIn. So as I walk
Right.
away from Twitter and put more time into Blue Sky and Threads, I will also
Right.
be investing a lot more time into LinkedIn because there is a huge comics community over there.
Really?
Yeah, and also it's full of executives, and executives are what? Nerds. And guess what? Nerds like comics. So hey, maybe we got a new fan base over there. All the stuffy suit boys can come over and
Right.
get their fix, whatever.
Right.
I don't know.
Hiding their furry porn in their desks.
Damn straight, damn straight. Good morning, everyone. It
uh
is what, November? November
no.
17th.
No,
It
it
is
is
November.
not.
It is not?
No. That
Yes.
it can't be.
Oh shit, you had me really thinking I was fucking up the month, Daphne.
Oh
It is November
boy.
17th, 2023. And this is the Ragin to the vlogs, and I am completely jacked up on Mio now.
Oh no.
That shit just hit, and I'm like, I'm gonna have a heart attack
All right.
live.
No,
I'm in
we
danger.
already have enough. You already have enough problems.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Oh shit. We
Oh.
have no fucking clue what we're gonna talk about
No, yeah.
today.
We
None.
didn't even remember today was Friday.
Nope. Sure the fuck didn't.
so
You
so
ready
the
for this?
title is absolutely not, but hit it.
Yo, I
Oh my
am
goodness.
in overkill on B
Uh-oh.
vitamins and caffeine.
Oh no. So you're bouncing off the walls the natural way.
Good morning, Daphne.
Good morning, Nita. Jesus Christ. Could you believe that next Thursday that actually no, it's not even next Thursday.
This
It's this
coming
coming
Thursday is
Thursday.
Thanksgiving,
It's Thanksgiving.
and
I can't
Christmas is like right there, and then it's New Year's, and then it's like, Jesus, we're gonna do this shit all over
over
again.
again. Yeah, no,
Ugh.
I still can't get over the fact that there was no September for this year.
Yeah, I know. Like, what
You
happened?
know? I mean, I just really cannot get over that. Yeah, so it's like, oh, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what I especially don't like either?
What's that?
That today is actually a rather springtime like day in in the middle of November. And it's like I am
It's
very
cold
bothered
for
by
us.
this. Yeah,
It's cold for us. It's winter.
because for me it's like I can't find a sweater that's like, okay, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too cold, windows open, it's too hot. you know
I
it's
get
like,
you a nice little Mister Rogers cardigan.
really, it's like
Where the
I
fuck
just,
is
yeah,
my cardigan?
oh, I don't know, it's
I don't know. I'm
wandering the
cold.
neighborhood. Yeah, because it's like it's just like that. No, it's like, look, you make a decision, either be just hot, actually just decide to be cold, because it's like the other day I had to go to Home Depot and buy snow salt before anybody else was thinking about it, because I was reading that the first
I'm so glad
snowfall
I
is going to
never have to worry
happen.
about that shit.
The first snowfall is going to happen in like about like 2-3 weeks.
Uh,
And it's like, okay, let me get this now when nobody's thinking about it. Then when they announce it that, oh, there's going to be a snowstorm and everybody's rushing. But right
yeah.
now, as we speak, it is what is it? It's was it? It's 54 degrees, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually a little clammy. And like I
Well,
said,
it's warmer than that here, but I'm freezing. My
you
southern
know,
blood can't handle this shit.
yeah, I know. It's yeah. So we suffer so much.
Yeah, snow sucks. I'm gonna
We
agree with
really
Widowfinger.
suffer. Yeah.
Yeah, I am not a fan of snow. However, I did learn year before last, I am a huge fan of ice storms. When that shit happened, it was
Right.
like fucking magical.
As long, well,
Oh
yeah,
no, the car
long as you
accidents and
drive
shit
it,
when
it's-
every southerner lost their goddamn mind and decided to drive around to look at other places. It's like, you fucking morons.
right, and they're
But
still driving normally on black ice.
yeah, oh, absolutely. We were
Right.
sitting. In fact, there was one point in time we would go sit outside and count the cars that fucking once they hit that curb went off the
Right.
fucking road, and it was
Oh
like
my.
every other one that came down was gonna freaking
Right.
veer off the road. But it was just freaking gorgeous to me. Of course, I broke my hip, or felt like I broke my hip, because I took one step outside.
Oh
and
well, yeah.
I was not
yeah.
used to that. But then the trees and everything had like a freaking half-inch of ice on them,
Yeah.
and it was the most gorgeous shit. It looked like everything was made of glass. It's fucking beautiful. Fucking
Right.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Can you guys tell we have no idea what we're talking
and then the
about today?
icicles started falling, and then
Oh,
then you realize
killing
that shit's
people.
dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was just thinking that too. That it's like, oh wait a minute, don't icicles kill people?
Yeah, they do, and they fall. Look, man, when they shake loose from the trees, it's not like a
Right.
here and there. No, it's like, and it
Right.
sticks in the
Did you-
fucking
did you-
ground.
I mean, it's like, have you seen the photo of the car that just had all these icicle spikes going through its roof?
No, but I'm
You know?
no, but I
Yeah.
can see that happening.
Yeah. So so who's joining us today on this nonsensical Friday?
We got Jody McPhee, Joseph,
good
Shadowfinger
morning.
Gaming, and
Hello,
David. Hello.
Yes,
Good morning.
Yes, I mean, good morning. Yeah, it's
We are
like
out of it.
yeah, we're a little out of it today. Like I said, it's well, I mean, there's a lot going on. It's just that I don't know. It just feels like there isn't enough to talk about. Well, but we'll figure something out. And yes, I see you, my beautiful eyeball people, watching from regions beyond. And if you are watching us from Facebook, if you are watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Facebook has a tendency to disconnect from us, and Twitter doesn't even allow us.
And LinkedIn's not even here this morning.
Yeah, LinkedIn
was
decided
like,
it was going to
"Fuck
go. Yeah, LinkedIn says it's like, you know what? We can't handle YouTube today. So I guess before we just continue rambling about nothing, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means. And what does that mean? I don't know. What does that mean?
Stay a while and listen.
Especially for today. Especially for today. And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter in 2024, just a few weeks away, by the way. It returns to Kickstarter in 2024 with the brand new story arc, Tears of the Mother, with the brand new issue 6 and a re-release of issues 1 through 5 for everybody who missed out on one of our earliest campaigns when we started this Kickstarter journey. So now if you missed those campaigns, you'll be able to catch up on the new story arc in 2024 with brand new reissues of issues 1 through 5 and issue 6. And in the meantime, I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which also returns to Kickstarter in 2024 with issue 8 of this 15-issue series. So keep an eye out for that as well. And also you can read both my comics online if you want to try them out before the Kickstarters. So you can read both my comics online at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales online. That's TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, LAGER, which simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's all natural Nita.
Oh, yeah, because I don't have my veneers in. Okay, my name is Nita Lanning, and these are my natural teeth, and I have a complex, and like I'm snaggletooth for 4 weeks, and I run the Indie Comics Network on YouTube, and it's a channel with indie comics and stuff. Jesus.
Well, it's like, look, everybody in the chat, it's like everybody in the chat tell Nita how pretty she is. It's like, even, I mean,
like, it's weird because, like, okay, so I had a nephew who had plagiocephaly, and if anybody doesn't know what that is, it means his head was malformed, so he had to wear a helmet to help shape it, and we had custody of him. So anyway, one of the things he used to do a lot was headbutt people, and he cracked my tooth right here, or the tooth that used to be right here, and now I'm being I have to have bone graft and stuff put in to have implant and whatever, but because I had veneers put in temporarily, I had some dental work done, and then the veneers didn't line up anymore. And so now I get to be snaggletooth for 4 weeks because I wasn't going to pay $1,000 or $500 to $1,000 to adjust the veneers. So it's like, fuck it, I'm just going to be snaggletooth for a month. So so now I got a complex. I'm like, oh.
Well, also I mentioned
how's it going?
Also, I mentioned it because it's probably the first time you're high without being on edibles.
Oh no, I'm on edibles too, Daphne.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with you? Shit.
Some things don't change.
No, some things never change. I had edibles. Okay. I had my vape this morning, but I am completely jacked up because of this Mio stuff. I am like ready to tackle the day when I didn't even want to wake up an hour ago.
Right, yeah, and then she's gonna crash and fall asleep around 2:00.
Shut up. Afternoon. And he's supposed to be at work. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, William. Good morning, C. Good morning, Grant.
Good morning. Welcome. So,
except for C, he can go.
Well, C's at work.
Yeah, he needs to be at work.
Right, there you go. Oh my goodness. So what's going on? So speaking of Eager Raven, everybody who ordered, who pledged to issue 7, you all should have received your books by now, or at least they're on their way. I know Nita's is definitely still on the way.
Oh, okay.
I sent it UPS. I sent it UPS so that.
Well, then I need to send you some more shipping.
So that no, it's fine. So that your mail person doesn't completely mangle your box. So so you should be getting your boxes this week. No, not this. Today's Friday, so probably like either. I would have to look it up because I
wouldn't get it till at least Monday because
so there you go. Yeah,
they don't deliver here on weekend.
Right,
it's rare that they'll show up on the weekend. Facebook user, good morning. Please head over to YouTube or give Facebook permission so we can see who you are. Also, while
declare yourself.
William Russell has Psycho Sal issue 5 available on Kickstarter right now.
Oh, very nice.
He's running. The time is winding down. I think he has a few days left on the campaign. So head over there and show him some support. He's got a serial killer story happening in New Orleans. Really good books. I was pleased.
Right. And also in our confusion of thinking today was Monday.
Proves like type shit. But I absolutely do.
Also in our confusion as to whether today was Friday or Monday. On Monday, actual Monday, we are going to be joined by Rob Multari, Wolf Daddy himself. Is going to be joining. He hates it when I say that. I really shouldn't say that.
It's kind of cute.
He was very uncomfortable when I said that.
But we like, we got a werewolf fetish and
right. Well,
Wolf Daddy, and it just makes
it's like
weird.
No, it just makes
uncomfortable.
It weird, yeah. So he's going to be. So Rob Multari will be joining us on Monday, where we will be revealing a brand new print that I think it's a special stretch goal that I did a wonderful print for Nightwolf for this event. So on Monday,
issue 8 on Kickstarter.
Oh, it's what?
Issue 8 on Kickstarter.
Oh yes, issue 8 is on Kickstarter. So join us on Monday with Rob, and we'll reveal the new print for that. Oh, look at that on my end. LinkedIn is bitching too, but okay, so we're just gonna remove that.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Hold on.
Yeah, okay. Right, okay. Because All right. So yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna close it. There we go.
Cleared it out. I got
Oh,
it.
okay, good.
It's done.
So thank you everybody who pledged to the campaign. Issue 7 got a little hairy, but it's officially closed now. So everybody should be getting their orders by Monday, at least the last of it by Monday. Also, yesterday I received, surprise, actually to me, I received my books for Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut. So yeah, so everybody, so here I thought that I was going to be waiting, until the end of the month, but no, I got my books yesterday from the printer. They look beautiful. I'm packing them up right now. So hopefully by Monday, I can start getting books out to everybody. So some of you might actually get your books before Thanksgiving. So, yeah. So also, I will be sending out the links. There's a lot of goodies, digital goodies on this campaign. So I will be sending out the links to everything on Monday, as well. Hey, Charles, long time, so, oh,
Message me. We'll talk.
So yeah, so that's really exciting. And for those of you who pledged to Magi's Grace, we will be getting those books on Saturday. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be getting those books as well. So yeah, so we're gonna be packing up 2 campaigns at the same time just to get everything out. Who knew that the slightest delay could kind of like throw off our equilibrium?
Oh, it can.
Yeah,
it absolutely can.
Yeah, but I mean, that I think that really goes to show you that it's like, when you plan your campaigns, you really do have to kind of like maneuver around. Like you can't be too strict about it, because when something like this happens, it is going to throw you off. In this case, my printer made me wait at 7 weeks for my books when usually he ships them in 2. We kind of figured it was a whole rush before New York Comic Con, so we kind of gave him that, and it's like now it just feels like whatever backlog he had, he's finally through, because like I said, he got these books to me actually pretty quick. Also, I started making the habit of emailing him every other day to kind of remind him. So maybe that had something to do with it too. So I don't know. It's like, even though before we never,
but allow yourself grace for error beyond your control.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly. And never assume that your printer is going to deliver your books by a certain date if you never mention it. That was also a mistake that we made as well. I mean, he was always really quick with his printing, and it's like usually we would get our books within 2 weeks. So we never bothered him about deadlines. But this particular time, it really bit us in the ass, because it's like, oh, we were, it's like, because, well, you never talk about deadlines. So, we can maneuver around your order, and it's like, oh, technically he's right. We can't just say, it's like, well, we needed it by this time. And, because we never said anything. So now we're just going to make it a point to make sure that it's like, hey, I have these books. I need them by a certain date. Can you meet that deadline? Or at least if you can't, tell me when you can. So it's like, at least, really have communication is key.
Yes, and also remember to communicate with your backers, guys. Like, one thing I can't stand is, like, I am very patient and understanding when there comes to delays beyond the creator's control. I don't like it when you issue or when you crowdfund a book and then you sit there and update me 3 weeks after the campaign closes that you're still in the middle of making the book or whatever. But if your printer's got an issue or something, update your backers. Communication is everything. Update your backers. Backers will be very forgiving. However, if you want to ghost us, like that tends to irk people. And I got a shit list a mile long from campaigns that have been pledged to that were 6, 7, 8 months beyond the anticipated date. And I will never talk about you again because you pissed me off, because you just fucking ghosted us.
Yeah, well, there were actually, and also another way, what's worse than ghosting is giving a really stupid reason as to why the book is late. Because I have 2 campaigns, 2 companies that I refuse to back.
Oh, yeah, if you decide to go and take care of something else first, fuck you. Fuck you for taking my money, and fuck you for thinking something else in the future is more important than what's already been paid for. Fuck you.
Because it's like, I had one creator say that, like, they ran, like, I think, like 2 more campaigns. I pledged to a campaign. They ran 2 more campaigns after that. And I'm sitting there going, now,
Bro.
in the meantime, I knew that they were, don't show anything. Don't show anything. Don't show
Come
anything.
on. No.
No, don't show anything.
There was this one asshole that we backed 2 years late. That book finally shows up, and he tried to make amends by including the second volume for free, which that didn't help me none, because I wanted the first fucking volume 2 fucking years ago. I don't give a fuck about the book anymore. In fact, I forgot you existed until you finally gave a fucking backer update. But the problem is the biggest issue for me was this motherfucker went and made and drew 4, 5, 6 other books for other fucking people in the meantime.
Right.
And it's like,
yeah, it's like, you know what?
Bro.
It's like you made a commitment to your backers. Keep that.
Not only you made a commitment that we paid for.
Right.
No.
Right. Well, because the one that but don't show anything or mention any names. It's like
I would never
they
say
know
that
who they are.
Anything.
So
2 years late.
Right. So because this book, like I said, they ran 2 more campaigns. I agree, William. He says, I'm sorry. Okay, put that up so we can read it. Because remember, we're now on Spotify.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. We're podcasting.
Yeah, we're podcasters now.
Find us on Spotify.
I'm sorry. I don't give a shit who you are. If your book fully funds on Kickstarter and it takes you 2 years to create that book, you suck.
Yes.
You know what? I
agree.
More. I agree. Now, mind you, yes, people who run Kickstarters when they haven't fulfilled the first is crazy. I agree too.
Absolutely.
Although here's the thing though, it kind of happened to me. See, that's why, it's like there's certain things that you still have to keep in mind.
But this is different. You were updating on the back, or you were still updating on the back end.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like you were sitting there and intentionally putting out book after book and going to work for other people while something else was incomplete. Right.
Because what happened was that because of the 7-week delay.
Oh, I'm sitting here looking for it, but I threw it away. That's why I can't find it.
So yes, because it's like I had because while I was waiting 7 weeks for my printer to get his shit together, I had to launch another campaign. I had it all scheduled and everything, and I felt really awkward doing that, but I always made sure that I kept on top of updating the backers, and I go, look, the shit's at the printers. I just have to get it back, and then it's out to you guys. It's like, it's not like I'm working on it. The printer has my files, so that worked out. This is working out. I'm going to try to make sure that doesn't happen again next year. But, but in this particular case, I backed the book. I knew he was printing them in China, so I know how that sausage is made, and it can take a little bit. So he ran 2 more campaigns after that. And I think that there came a point where he got all the books at the same time. So it's like, oh, okay. Because I remember him making an announcement that he got the books for the campaign that I backed. But it's like, why is it taking him so long to to ship? It's like, I didn't understand that. It's like, wait a minute, I could have sworn you updated, you got the books. And thank you, Grant, because so do I. And you'd be amazed at how much pushback that I always get when I say that.
I believe in having the book done before you put it on Kickstarter.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The book should be ready to go.
Absolutely. And like I said, I get a lot of pushback
or
every
in
time
the
I say
very
that.
final stages.
And so what happened? So I didn't understand. It's like, wait, but you said that you got the books. Why haven't they shipped out yet? And this was like a couple of months later. And then he finally puts out an update that he's finally shipping out the book that I backed because because he wanted to get the other 2 campaigns done first because they were more important. And I go, wow, you actually said that out loud. It's like Grant, you'd be surprised.
You don't even know, man. Grant says, is that a controversial opinion? He's referring to having the books done before. Yes, it absolutely is. Like, people will get mad as hell at you because we couldn't afford. It's poor shaming to say that you should be prepared.
And I'm like going, fuck you. It's not poor shaming. You're just bad with money. Being poor and being bad with money, they're kind of technically 2 different things.
Absolutely.
So it's like, and especially when you're talking about comics, if you're too poor to make a comic, if you're saying that you're poor to make a comic correctly, you have bigger problems than making that comic.
Right.
But yes, people have argued with me about, about having a book done. And it's like, look,
Who was it
um,
that said something about, oh, it shouldn't be a selling point?
well, that was me. That was me. It's like, I couldn't believe that
Oh,
it's so common for books to ship late on Kickstarter, that's saying that you can actually ship in a reasonable amount of time after a campaign closes is considered a selling point.
oh, what William just said makes me even angrier.
Oh, William says that's because his ass was charging people per Kickstarter for shipping them, just sitting on the books for 2 to 3 Kickstarters and then shipping them together and then pocketing the extra shipping money already paid.
Holy
Actually, I
shit.
mean, it's like, look, I didn't pledge to his other books if we are talking about the same person, but you know what? Like I said, this kind of thing is a little too rampant for my taste.
Good morning, Nicholas.
Hello, Nicholas. And it's like, I didn't order any of his other books, so I don't know if that's what he did. But the thing is,
I
though, it's like,
imagine
I think that's kind of grimy too.
It is grimy. It's
Because like, you pay shipping individually. That's why most of the time I just send out the books, even though I know I have regulars who order on every campaign. I just ship out your books. I don't try to because after a while that becomes confusing anyway for me.
Right.
But it's like, I just ship out. You paid for shipping for it to get your book. You're going to get your books. You can order 30 books from 30 campaigns and you will get 30 packages from us. Oh, that's a whole lot. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
Pet peeve.
William says one that pisses me off are the ones charging me $10 shipping and sending my books in a paper envelope media mail. No, that I agree too. Oh, there was one. Oh my God. There was one package. It was raining, like really like unusually hard. Like kind of like one of that nonstop raining for 3 days type of thing. And I know, Grant. Yeah, it's like, it's like, yeah, maybe we are old school, when it comes to like, oh, have your book done before you, So it was raining for 3 days. Yeah, it's like it was raining for 3 days, and Jose got a Kickstarter book in the mail. But the problem was that because it was raining so hard, I think it like flooded the mailbox, and the package, like Jose literally picked up the package and the Kickstarter package, and it was like one of those flat stay flats, but with like no cardboard inside, because it was a rigid cardboard envelope, but like no extra thing. Like the package literally disintegrated around the book, right? But here was the funny thing. By pure luck, excuse me, the book didn't bend at all. So the book was, like completely flat. What saved it was that the person used like this weird comic book bag that was like a Ziploc. Have you seen those?
Oh, no, I have not.
It had like a little Ziploc type seal.
I've never seen the ones with the Ziplocs. I've seen them like with the thin ones with the snap, and I've seen
this one literally looked like a Ziploc bag for comics, and because of that, it was watertight. So while the envelope disintegrated around the book itself was pristine. But like I said, it was only through luck that it didn't bend. Because there was no other cardboard or anything, any rigid, anything in there. So
look, all I can say is this: if your book comes to me in anything other than a cardboard mailer, it does not have to specifically be Gemini, because Uline makes great mailers. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Gemini, we have a code.
Oh yes, we do. Yes,
code RAGIN Ragin 10. You get 10% off your Gemini mailers.
Right.
And by the way, because I took that, we don't really get a kickback at all. It's like a couple cents per 100.
Right.
Like, seriously.
I mean, I think
most of the time they only offer 5%.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, and you know what? And I think that even if we don't get a cut, I think that just the fact that that we get to like when I have to buy I buy the bags and boards, because they also sell bags and boards, and they also sell other comic book supplies as well. So it's not just Gemini mailers, but I get a nice, I get that discount when I'm buying bags and boards for my Kickstarter. So you know what? We may not get a kickback, but the discount's worth it. Even just
That's
you
how
know.
I feel.
Oh
If your
no,
shit
yeah,
comes in a paper envelope
mhm,
only, I'm never backing you again.
right,
Ever.
exactly, yeah,
I don't
yeah,
mind. I don't mind people using media mail. I just hope you
right.
don't get busted.
Well, that is the catch. Yeah, I mean, it's like you
Poly
see.
mailer.
Oh, polymer. Hello, Jose.
Aren't you supposed to be at work?
He is. Oh no, he's not yet. He's actually
Oh.
waking up.
Good morning.
Actually, knowing him, he's probably in the living room listening to my end of the conversation. Um, so yeah, so it's like, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but media mail is kind of tricky because it's like, because the thing is though, is like most people can't get away with using media mail. But the thing is though, yeah, if you're using a manila envelope and just stuffing
Yeah.
the comic
Fuck
in there,
you.
it's like,
Fuck
no, you're
you.
being, especially if you're charging $10 for it.
Right.
And
I've had somebody wrap one time. It was I swear to God, it was a brown paper bag that had been folded and a labeling sticker was put on there.
What is that janky shit? No, that you're at the top of a shit list for doing that. No way. I mean, it's like, because you know what it is? I don't mind something being shipped media mail if it looks like the rest of the money went into packaging.
Yeah, that's my thing. William's
Yeah.
like, fuck it, there's no excuse for media mail. And some people are like that. Like,
Right.
and I understand why, but like me, it
Right.
doesn't. As long as my shit is
Right.
nice and tight and arrives, that's what matters to me.
Right.
Because I know a lot of people will use bubble mailer or bubble wrap and everything
Right.
inside too.
Yeah.
Like, golly,
Right.
like
I just have to. I mean, I have
package
to
my
say that.
shit.
Yeah. I mean, I just
Make
have to
sure
say
that
that
shit gets to
I'm
me.
biased because I use media mail, or so far. It's like
till there's a bust.
Yeah, so it's like, but the thing is though, I pack the shit out of my stuff, so it's like even now I've started, so it's like now I'm going to use bubble wrap and I'm going to use like Tyvek inside the mailers as well. Oh no, don't do that, Alice.
Yeah, we're just gonna ship it with a bag and board, put a stamp on it.
There you go. Yeah, it's like so I'm gonna be using like Tyvek mailers as well on the inside, because after the thing with the envelope, with Jose's envelope disintegrating, it's like I want to make sure that the stuff that's inside, that if that were to happen to any of my packages, the books inside are still safe. And and the reason why I don't use the poly mailers on the outside is because I try to keep the packages as kind of nondescript as possible. But that's more, that's all preference, than anything else. But but I am a little biased. It's like, you know what it is, for me, how you ship it, like which service you use, is not really an issue for me, as long as it looks like you're packaging it well to make it through the mailing process. So that's really the thing. That's my thing. So it's like, so we're going to be packing our things this weekend. I don't know what else is going on with you.
I am getting caught up on edits and a whole bunch of stuff. I got a ton of live campaigns and I got a whole bunch of stuff coming in soon.
Right. Isn't it funny how it's like the more people say that they're quitting comics, the more comics there are to promote?
It's actually wild right now.
I mean, that's, I don't know, like, especially like, because again, it's like, we've been hearing like a whole bunch of things about people, like not being able to do comics anymore. This and the other thing, our comics is dying, Kickstarter is dying, and this and the other thing. And it's like, I don't know, for something that's dying, why are you still here?
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, it's booming right now. I can't even tell you how many projects are active on Kickstarter alone, let alone the other platforms.
And the last time we checked, it was like it was
close to 300.
Right. And it's like, yeah, I don't think that's really changed. I think that might be like the steady number for the past couple of months, or do you think it went down a bit?
I can't tell because business is booming right now.
Right,
Like, it's constant.
because there was I was listening to Catch the Craze the other day, Sam and George, and they were kind of talking about, like kind of like the difficulties, the challenges of using Kickstarter, especially if you're finding out that your audience actually, is kind of being built elsewhere, and they do, like Sam was talking about, like he goes to conventions and he does really well at conventions, right? But when he tells people, hey, I have a Kickstarter running, it's like, would you mind supporting it? And they tell him straight up no. It's like, I would rather drive to every convention in Texas to pick up your book than ever support a Kickstarter. So so it was kind of like, that kind of realization where he's getting like real feedback that people that his audience at conventions is not the same audience he has on Kickstarter. Like it's two different things. And and then there comes a point where it's like he has to decide, where it's like, well, which is the audience he'd rather nurture? The one that he feels he has to fight for on Kickstarter, or the ones that he knows that he can actually get an enthusiastic response from at conventions, right? And then it's like they had a guest. I forgot who the guest was. And he had come on and he said that he doesn't use Kickstarter at all. But I didn't stay. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to listen to the rest of the interview. So I just caught the part where he said that he doesn't use Kickstarter because he doesn't understand their model. And I found that weird. It's like, what's there to understand? And what it was that he didn't like the idea that Kickstarter keeps claiming itself as an investment platform. And he goes, no, you're not an investment platform because I'm not getting any returns. It's like, I'm not getting any returns on the investment. It's like buying a book is not an investment. And it was, so that's why he doesn't use Kickstarter. And it's like, okay, I guess,
okay.
I've heard dumber excuses, for not using Kickstarter, because usually when people don't say that they don't like using Kickstarter, it's because they feel like it's begging or something, which I don't know how, because it's like, no, you have a product. Well, at least you're supposed to have a product. You're offering it on Kickstarter. People are buying that product and you're shipping them that product, right? I mean, that seems rather straightforward to me.
Well,
but there are people
you're supposed to.
Right. Well, yeah, dovetailing to the original thing about but in the end, though, it's not really an investment, I guess, in the actual definition of the word, I guess, because the way that he was using it, he goes, oh, because the idea of Kickstarter is it goes against everything that I learned for my business degree. And it's like, okay,
how?
All right. Okay. Because he says it's like an investment is something very specific. You pay in.
You're investing in creators. You're invested in,
right.
You're investing in the creative art.
But this one is like, this one, it's like, they call it investment when all you're getting is a book back. Like I said, it's like, I've heard dumber excuses. And it's like,
William said, you're investing into people and their dreams. And that's
right.
That's true.
Right.
You're investing into the arts, and you're investing into your own interests. So,
well, that would I think that the more proper term for that is you're a patron then, right?
Whatever.
Right. Yeah. So I really do think that this guy was kind of like niddling with semantics, it's just not.
It's not GoFundMe. Like, I mean,
right. On, like there's a huge difference between the two, even though technically they're the same thing. But like GoFundMe, you can't offer items on GoFundMe, as far as I know. That it's like, it's literally a donation site that you're not supposed to be.
Well, there are people who have tried to run like they'll be like, they'll put up a whole bunch of art and stuff, and they're like, fund our dream, and they want to be invested in as far as their comic on GoFundMe. But I don't even like sharing those because it feels scammy and begging.
Right.
I don't mind, like, like William said, GoFundMe is begging. It really is.
Right. Well, yeah, it literally is. It's a charity site. While it's like I said, on Kickstarter, I'm my pledge is to buy something. I'm buying something. It's, Kickstarter, as much as they say that you're not, that rewards are not guaranteed. I think on the comic book side, that's pretty much the idea. I'm buying a comic. I'm buying a novel. It's like, and I expect to get that. It's like, honestly, it's like, whether it's investing in you personally, it's like, okay, that's a nice sentiment, but in the end, I want the book.
He brought a good point. He said GoFundMe was that way. It started out as a project funding site, but then it became a more traditional. Now, when I think GoFundMe, I think somebody's house burnt down and they need donations, or somebody's car broke down unexpectedly and they need a hand. That type of shit. Right. I think for comics it's bullshit, because there are, even though Kickstarter, they tell you there's no guarantee, there is a understanding within the community that you fulfill. GoFundMe does not have that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, unless it's like you're outright stealing the money and using it for something that you didn't mention. I mean, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, so he had said that, so he doesn't use Kickstarter because of that, which I thought was like, okay, and Jose, and I mentioned it to Jose, and like, even he thought it was like kind of like, a whack explanation. It's like, look, if you don't want to use Kickstarter, then don't use Kickstarter, but don't create an elaborate scenario, to justify it. It's like, it's okay to say your audience is not there.
Right.
That it's like, it's because it's like, a lot of people
or it's okay to say, I don't feel like hustling.
Right. That's like, what, the amount of work that I have to put in to support a Kickstarter is not really the work I want to do. And it's like, that's fine too. I mean, it's like, there's a lot of
lame ass excuses.
Yeah. There's a lot of real, because it's like, there's like I said, there's creators who are like, they're kind of learning that it's like, what, maybe my audience isn't really here, or it's like, like, I remember talking about this guy who couldn't fund $3,000 for a horror comic, but at the same time, he was comparing his numbers to a previous IP that was completely different than what his horror comic was. And and he was like kind of going, oh, I should really go back to doing novels instead, because at least I know that audience. And I go, well, that's kind of the point. It's like, this whole thing doesn't, it's, you're going to have a hard time making it work if you don't know who you're selling to.
Right.
Max, right? The Atrocities.
Yeah,
Max,
that's Max.
Right. Depends. Okay, he says depends on how you utilize Kickstarter. Some people Kickstarter the entire project up front. Others use it as a pre-order platform. The pro order platform users fulfill more often as the others typically, right? Because they have the books ready, and that's
falls apart. Yep.
Yeah. It's like and that's how I use it. I use it as, it's not a pre-order. You're not it's like, well, technically you're pre-ordering, but you're pre-ordering,
but
done.
The book is done.
You're pre-ordering, and all I'm getting is the orders for how many I need to print.
Right.
That's how I use Kickstarter. The book is done.
And that's how I like it, because I don't like the fact when people want, I understand that some people can't afford their art or whatever. Right. I'm not trying to pour shame, but I like the guarantee of receiving a product. I would like it I would like it 100% done. Well,
here's the funny thing, because I don't think it's poor shaming, because Jose will be the first one to tell you that there is always a way to affordably get a comic put together, because he does it all the time. The problem is that a lot of people, they want their shit now. They're stamping their feet on top of the scale like Veruca Salt, going, but I want it now.
That's William. See, I pay 100% of my book up front. My Kickstarter is to recoup what is spent.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, and Jose said, even if you don't have the money now to do it, there's a way. It just requires more time investment than a financial investment. But what happens is that people want the money now, so they fund, so they put a book that technically doesn't exist on Kickstarter, and then they get the money in 2 weeks, and then I don't know. It's like what happens, Um, and then you're stuck waiting for a book for 3 years, or whatever, because it's like, and because it's like, you see, which is ironic because they're funding because they don't want to wait. They don't want to do it the slow way.
They do it the slow way
regardless,
And what's really bad is a lot of these irresponsible fuckers. I hate to be this bitch right here, but those that crowdfund early, like before anything is ready to go, a lot of times, dude, by the time they get that money, they spend it.
Yeah, it's long gone.
It's spent, and then there's another campaign run to make up for it. So because they can't even afford the shipping now on the 100 books that they need to send out, so now they have to crowdfund again to cover their ass, and it's just a vicious fucking cycle. And that is why I prefer completed projects.
Right? That it's like because what that tells me is that they want us.
Good morning, Michael.
Buyer to put in the time investment, not them. It's like when they don't want, like okay, if it's going to take you 3 years to do a book, okay, if it's going to take you 3 years, right? So what difference does it make if you're the one taking the 3 years to put out a book that's finished on Kickstarter, as opposed to us waiting 3 years for you to get your shit together and get that same book out? I mean, for people who, I don't know, who crow about customer service, I mean, I think that's kind of shitty customer service, I mean, it's like, no, you put the book out. Oh,
nice.
Last I checked, WIP didn't stand for Wasted Investment Project. Ooh. Oh, snap.
Bring the hot takes.
So it's like, yeah, I would rather take my time to finish a book, then put it on Kickstarter, than put that time then make my customer be the one putting in the time investment waiting for it. But also at the same time, Jose says that my standards are too high. So I don't know. Let's see. So Max says, I don't care if the book is going to take 3 years. Just say that it will take 3 years.
Thank you.
When the campaign is running. Don't tell me it's coming in 6 months and give it to me in 3 years.
Because by the time 6 months and 14 days passes, fuck you, I'm done.
That's true, Max. That's true. That's like that's I've had plenty of campaigns say, oh, we'll get the book. The book ships in 3 months, and then you don't hear from them again in 2.5 years.
Right.
And it's like, well, what made you think you'd get the book out in 6 months? I mean, it's like, so there's, but the thing is, though, again, it's like, it depends on the context of the situation. If I know you're printing in China, then it's like, fine. It's like, I know, I get it. I know that it takes a while for stuff to come from there. It could take up to 3 to 6 months, just to get your books printed. Now, granted,
put that date far out on your campaign. Don't tell me my shit's coming in April. Right. It's not coming until March of the next year or the following year.
Because like the novels that I've been pledging to lately, I've been pledging, it's like I've been really, ever since this last campaign, I've just been really jumping into romance, fantasy, smut novels. So, your mileage may vary. It's like those books, they tell you right off the bat. It's like the one that I'm really excited to get is not going to ship until next year. And it's like, and get this, I was actually talking to the author, right? And she was saying that not only is it going to take that long to print the book, to get it printed in China, but she has to wait for the government to approve her book if they'll even take it to print.
Wait, what? Then why would you see?
Right.
I don't like that.
Because what it is that she has 3 erotic pieces of artwork in the novel. And she's not sure if she's gonna like that's something that ended up cropping up, and she doesn't know if she's gonna have to find another printer. So what I did was I told her the story of Tim Vigil with Faust, You have the book behind you. He was originally going to print the book in Korea, in South Korea, you know, um, but don't open it. Don't open it.
Yes.
Don't open it. No. Don't
zoom in and pause. I guarantee you, I gave y'all something.
So for those of you who are not familiar with Faust and Tim Vigil, it's to say the book is erotic.
That's how I feel.
Is is an understatement.
Yeah. No, this is.
And what happened was that they were originally going to print the book in Korea, but the printer says we can't print this. We cannot print this book. It is literally against the law. It's against the law in our country for us to print this. So they had to scramble. They had to scramble to find a new printer. And I think they ended up going with a printer in South America somewhere. So I sent her the Kickstarter. I was like, look, these guys had the same problem. Maybe if you talk to them, if you have an issue, they'll be able to give you the name of their printer or whatnot, or at least point you in the right direction to not safe for work friendly printers.
Just the cover was not safe for work. I didn't even realize. I gave y'all a good nipple shot.
All right, so if there's so the fact that I'm going to wait a year for her book, I can understand that. Now. And there might be a delay, a very understandable delay with that, So it's like, okay, that I can understand, but everything else though, if you're printing POD, if I know you're printing in the United States, if I know, it's like, that's where I kind of, again, it's like Jose says, I have way too high standards. But it's like, look, I don't think I'm holding anybody to a standard I wouldn't hold myself to. Like I said, I don't do a Kickstarter unless the book is done. Aside from waiting 7 weeks for my printer.
And if you do, set your date way out.
Yeah.
And if it arrives earlier, great.
Yeah.
But if your book is not complete, like if you're one of those people that wants to fund for your art or whatever. Okay, but put that date 3 years out, even if you think it's going to be done in 6 months. And here's why. Because if your artist gets sick, if your kid breaks their fucking leg, if your wife has a mental health breakdown, you don't fucking know. Or if your artist is what, you don't know. Right. So make sure that you give yourself a allotted grace period that exceeds your expectation of when you would put it out.
Right. Also, and here's the thing too, because
don't tell me it's coming in 3 months.
Right. Well, yeah, but not only that too. Like I said, don't say stupid shit as your update, because I think the thing that pissed me, there was one campaign that pissed me off the most, was that, again, I was waiting 2-3 years for this book, and the only update that I got for why the book was late was that, oh yeah, the artist is too busy to put the book together.
I'm sorry.
And I'm like going, excuse me?
No, excuse me?
It's like, hello?
Well, didn't you just lose a backer?
And it's like, if it wasn't for the fact that the book was like $20, it's like, I wasn't even going to, it's like, I wasn't going to argue over $20, but, I'm like going, really? It's like, you have no problems telling
I will argue over $20. In fact, I took a dude down on Facebook over 10 before, because it's like, you shouldn't have taken my fucking money. It's the principle.
It's like to turn around and say that's like, oh, we just don't have time to put it together.
I'm with William. I will fight you, motherfucker.
Because it's like, look, you're the publisher. Why are you waiting for the artist to put it together? It's like, I thought that, and it's like, it's like, because it's like, what if you pledge to a campaign and you're waiting 3 years and all you're getting is like, I don't feel like putting it together. It's like,
okay.
it's like,
buddy.
It's like that. Look, it sounds stupid no matter how you say it. It's like, oh yeah, I just didn't feel like putting. I'm too busy. I'm too busy to put it together.
Look, the only exception to my rule of no excuses is if the fucking creator drops dead between the time the campaign closed and fulfillment. That's the
Well,
only
that is
fucking
kind of, oh yeah, that is
That's
kind
the,
of
that's the
morbid,
only
but it's
acceptable
like, yeah, that
excuse.
would be that
That's
would
the
be,
only acceptable excuse.
I mean, but again,
And
it's
that
like, I
has
think,
happened
you know,
twice
but
that I know of.
oh, I mean, but again, though, it's like, I think that's kind of where it's a good idea to make sure the book is finished before you crowdfund, because it's like, if that were to happen, maybe that there's a way to salvage the project,
Right.
but it's like, if
Somebody
you're
on the
committed,
creative team or a family member or somebody can
right,
go ahead
yeah,
and print it.
I mean, but I think that once you're committed to printing the book,
Yeah, I'll allow a coma too.
yeah, well, yeah, I think so, yeah.
William.
So it's just like, yeah. Oh, the thing is, one more thing though. So a couple of
Jake says $20 would have had me 30 more seconds with Crystal. I'd fight for that.
Oh, there you go. Look, value is subjective, right?
No, but seriously, no, because here's why, Daphne. Like, dude, okay, so
Right.
yeah, it was $20 for me, but they had 150 fucking backers.
Right. Well, actually, this
I'm the one with
had
a
around 2,000.
Oh, fuck them especially hard.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, I'm going to fucking fight and argue because I actually have a public platform where I can be heard, and this is why I have in the past called a couple people out. You really gotta fucking push me.
Right.
But there have been a few times I've dropped names in negative light on fucking
Right.
Facebook, and will continue to do so for that reason.
Right. Well, there you
Allison says she doesn't even allow excuses for a coma.
Oh,
She
there
said,
you
"Coma?
go.
Fuck no, get off your lazy ass and get back to drawing."
All right, there you go. No, no quarter given. No, so a couple of things that I had wanted to mention that I actually forgot about. The couple of things that I did want to talk about. We just ended up talking about this because we didn't know, what we were going to talk about. But okay, so everybody knows that YouTube has started banning ad blockers.
Yes.
From their page, and I've had a past like the last couple of weeks have been completely miserable for me, because I hate commercials on YouTube. It kind of defeats the purpose of me even watching YouTube. I like using YouTube as like a background noise, but only because there's no fucking commercials, right? And it's just been miserable because it's like every couple of minutes I have to go monitoring for commercials to skip, because if you don't skip commercials, you might end up on one of those commercials, a fucking 30-minute infomercial.
Or an hour.
Or an hour. It's like I've had that happen. And I thought I was hallucinating, that I ended up on a 30-minute commercial, when I heard other people saying, no, we've seen commercials as long as an hour. Like they literally forget what they were watching. And like I said, it was pretty miserable because like I couldn't really work watching YouTube, because like every couple of minutes I had to stop to turn off the ads. And
I was doing that because I was trying to listen to music and paint the house and having to
yell. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Ads button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was this video from actually a year ago that popped up where they were complaining about the idea. I guess like this was when Google was still like, they had talked about how they wanted to make Chrome. Yeah, they wanted to make Chrome. They wanted to make it so that you couldn't use an ad blocker on Chrome. So he was explaining how, like moving to another browser didn't really work, because a lot of extra browsers use Chrome as a base, which means that if Google doesn't want you to use ad blockers, you're going to have to listen to them, right? There's only, everyone except one. Firefox is the only browser that does not use Chrome as a base, doesn't use Google as a base. So what the guy recommended, it's like, look, just run Netscape, just run Firefox.
It's a bird, William. It's a bird.
Just use Firefox with your ad browser and with your ad blocker, and it works like a charm. You're not going to get ads. Yep. So I decided to try that. I downloaded Netscape, Jesus Christ, what am I? Firefox, and put in my ad blocker, and it's been a joy. It's been, I only have it. I use Google for other things, so I'm still keeping Chrome, but Firefox, I have it set to open straight to YouTube, and I just use it for YouTube, and it's just been like, it's so nice to have my ad-free experience again.
Chrome is
So
better for StreamYard for me because
yeah.
any other browser I get lag.
No. Also, that's the
Uh,
reason why Jose always has problems when he runs his streams,
but I do have
especially with
Firefox now
sharing.
just for listening to music.
Yeah, because he uses Firefox for everything, and yeah, and especially StreamYard doesn't
Like
like
if you have to
Firefox.
share a video on
Yeah,
another browser, except with the exception of Chrome or the Microsoft Bing, it will do delayed playback or
yeah,
you lose audio.
yeah. It's really annoying, but yeah. So I still use Chrome as my default browser, but Firefox I use for
It always fucks up for me.
yeah, it does for me too. That's why I hadn't used it in a while. But for YouTube, I mean, just to be able to listen to my videos again without ads is just like it's a beautiful thing. So you didn't hear it from me. So
Yes. So anyway,
so
the link
keep
is in the
mum.
comments.
Yeah. So keep mum about it. You didn't hear it from us. Firefox with whatever ad blocker you use, and YouTube is back on track. The other thing that I had wanted to mention was that there was this whole thing about not using, like, I'm not using Twitter anymore. I'm only using it to follow some artists that haven't moved from there yet, mostly because they're not safe for work artists. And unfortunately, when a porn artist moves to another platform, it's usually Patreon, and then it becomes membership only. And even then, Patreon is a very unstable platform when it comes to adult work. So I had moved to Threads. Yeah, I know. I had moved to Threads, kind of like to find an alternative. And I was really enjoying it for a while, but now it's gotten to a point where I realized, and I know you warned me about this because I was a little enamored with writers' threads.
Oh, you fucked up, didn't you?
And no, well, what happened was that, in the end, no matter what fandom you're in, the bullshit's the same. It is. Yeah. So already it's like, I don't know what's going on, but everybody is talking about there's this war against people who don't want erotic novels to exist. It's like, if you're not doing an erotic novel, you're writing YA type of stupid shit. It's kind of like if you're not drawing porn, you're drawing like G-rated shit. And it's like this, like there's no middle ground.
I hate
And it
people.
seems that novels has the same discourse going on, and it's just exhausting. It's like, holy shit. Yeah, it's like every fandom is the same way.
They're
Every
all the same.
fandom, they're all the same. It's all the same bullshit.
all
It's all the
toxic
same
bullshit.
discourse, and and it's like, and this, I don't know what happened recently, but this conversation has been completely dominating writers' threads right now, and I just found it so discouraging that I just like. It's like, you know what? It's like, I think I'm going to just stick with Facebook and YouTube. It's like, I don't, yeah, it's like I'll post to Threads, I'll post some updates to Threads and whatnot, but to use it as an actual platform, I don't
use
know.
Twitter right now, Threads right now, and even Blue Sky right now, just as redirects. Like, seriously,
Right?
I'll
Yeah.
post projects over there, but it's too much work. There's too
Right.
much fucking drama on all of
Yeah.
them. That it's just
Yeah.
like, nah, dude, I'm just gonna stay over here.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. It's like Facebook just seems to be where my audience is at, and then YouTube is the one that I really want to
Right.
grow. So it's like, yeah, it's like I did have to agree with Sam when he said that he thought that people were really spending way too much time trying to build too much on social media. And it's like, yeah, I have to agree with that, because it's like, you know what, these platforms are just driving me nuts. Just stick with the ones that you're getting engagement on, and kind of like,
well, here's
the rest.
My take is something Meredith taught me early on before she passed away. Okay, I, because of what I'm doing, need to have some kind of place on every fucking platform. My strengths are YouTube, Facebook, and used to be Twitter. And that's where I'd put all my time and energy.
Right.
However, always, especially if you're branded, like if you're publishing or whatever, go and squat on every platform that looks like it has potential to take off.
Right.
Squat your brand. And then, but let's see. Okay, so I have Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Facebook, YouTube, and
I'm
another.
exhausted just listening to that list.
And we're branded on all of those. My time, however, is spent on Facebook and YouTube, but I do go out and throw Kickstarters on those other platforms and advertisements to redirect to YouTube and Facebook.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because
But that's all. I mean, I
right,
don't even engage over there. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm
right,
not gonna try to pretend like I do. I don't.
right. Yeah. I mean, it is exhausting. And you know what? And I do understand when there are people who are like, I can't fucking do this shit. And I do understand that, but at the same time, though, it's like, you know what? This, in the end, this is something that I put up with because doing the work is that important to me that it's
Right.
like I'll do whatever I have to do in order to push the work forward. And it's like, yeah, it's just knowing, it's knowing when to scrape the plate, I guess.
Well,
You
squatting
know,
is also important because we never know when one of these social media platforms is going to be yanked out from under us. Like Twitter is
that's
still
true.
there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But for me, considering I used to have an engagement of 500,000 or higher daily, and that dropped to maybe 20,
Right.
24 tops.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, it's just like
miserable.
after my whole nonsense with Patreon, I've been completely unable to take that platform seriously. It's like I don't like the idea of being on there. It's like I'm essentially squatting on it right now. And it's like,
Well, because you never know when something's going to change. Like, I'm
right,
not
yeah,
going to leave Twitter. I'm just not
right.
investing my time in Twitter right
Yeah,
now.
that's how I feel about it too. Like I said, I'm only using it to follow certain people, and that's it. And what I found, and what's funny is that so what I did was I moved Twitter all the way to the bottom of my list that I keep of all the websites I have to look over. And what I noticed is that just by doing that, it became incredibly easy for me to not look at Twitter anymore.
Right.
So even with following people, it's like, oh, I'm not even like, I didn't realize that I had spent like 2 weeks not looking at Twitter, all because I just moved the icon and I removed it from my phone because I don't post from there. So, and then I realized it's like, oh shit, I haven't looked at Twitter in this, like it's kind of funny how you think that, oh, I can't live without this platform. And then it's like, all of a sudden it's so easy to abandon it. But so in the end, it's like, that's kind of like the two things that I had wanted to talk about before, but and we never got to talk about the ending to the lewd vocabulary survey that we started. Well, we'll talk about that another day. There wasn't really that much on.
There wasn't much left. I was just
Right.
being facetious, really.
But yeah, well, but still, though, it's still like I said, especially in light of the writing drama that I'm seeing, where it's just like, people are just ridiculous. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So we're past the top of the hour. So do you have any final thoughts? Random final thoughts?
I gotta pee.
Okay, there you go. So that's a random final thought. So I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat on this Nonsensical Friday. I mean, it's like we just pretty much, grabbed whatever prompt you wanted us to talk about and just ran with it. I don't know. It just happened. And thank you so much to my beautiful eyeball people for putting up with us for this past hour. We hope you were at least entertained listening to us.
Spotify,
ramble.
we're sorry, and LinkedIn.
Yeah, exactly. We're very sorry for Spotify. So thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to know more about me and my artwork and my upcoming campaigns, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com. That's EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. Like I said, if you are interested in seeing sketches, current work in progress updates, and whatever live updates I may have, just it goes on Facebook first pretty much. And remember that you can also check me out on YouTube at my channel Daphne Lage, Lage art, where you can watch videos, a catalog about 500 videos of how I make my comics, and also join me for my semi-weekly art live stream Wednesdays at 4 p.m. 2 hours of me drawing and working at the same time. I didn't and patting my head and rubbing my stomach, chewing bubblegum at the same time. And this last Wednesday, I did not have an episode because everything that I was working on required too much concentration, and I couldn't run a stream at the same time. But we'll make sure that this upcoming Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, I'll at least entertain you with 2 hours of whatever it is that's going on at that moment. And remember, you can also read Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, so you can check it out before the campaign for issue 8 goes live next year in a couple of weeks. Actually, in several weeks, not a couple. A couple is 2. You can read Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILS online.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears in the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. And again, it's also going to be returning to Kickstarter with issues 1 through 6 in 2024. Hold on. Was I saying 2023? 2024. Jesus, we're almost done with 2023. 2024, both Eagle Raven 8 and Tears of the Mother, issues 1 through 6 is going to be back on Kickstarter in next year. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for the stragglers coming in. Hey, Paul, and so even Allison needs to go pee. So I guess I might as well wrap this up, because in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.